What's up, minions? Lex DeVille here, and in this video we have a lot to talk about, but this is going to be one about 5 Upwork bio tips for beginners. So if you're someone who has struggled to write your bio, if you've struggled to figure out what to say, where it goes, how to put it in there, things like that, we're going to dig, whatever. We're going to get into that. Stick around. Hey minions, if you're new to the channel and you like what I have to say, then be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you never miss a video. Only do this if you like what I have to say and if you want to hear more about freelancing, entrepreneurship, and personal world domination. For those who don't know me, I'm Lex DeVille, and on this channel we help you escape corporate prison and build a freelance empire. We share lots of freelance tips and tutorials, so if you're new, consider subscribing. In our most recent video, we talked about using the element of surprise to help you get bonuses on Upwork, and it is something that can also help you get responses to your proposals if you can find ways to implement that. And maybe we can talk more about how to do that in the future, but you can see that video right up here if you are interested in figuring out how do I get bonuses in addition to the base pay that I'm getting already from my stuff that I send, from my work that I deliver. We've also got some pretty cool stuff coming up with regards to collections. If you've ever had a client who is a non-paying client, a client who has not wanted to pay you for your services that you have already delivered, we're going to talk a little bit about that. We had some experiences with that in Discord where I had some pretty big amounts, a fairly large amount owed, and I had to go through some of my collection process, and thankfully I successfully collected the entire amount and then some, and got to document that in there. So make sure that you're in our Discord. It's free. You can click the link in the description. Alright, so we finally hit the 10K mark in subscribers. I thought this was really cool and we should bring it up. Wanted to say thank you to everyone who has been a part of that, everyone who has been following this channel for a long time, or even if you just joined us, everyone who has subscribed and liked my videos and commented and joined us in Discord. Like, we have a really cool community, a freelance community growing up under us and building up under us, and it doesn't happen without people in the community. So thank you very much for being a part of that. I really do appreciate it, and I look forward to creating a lot of new freelance content going forward. To celebrate, commemorate the 10K mark, we're going to have a discount coupon for Freelance University. So if you drop down in the description, if you click the link to Freelance University in there, it'll take you straight to the page where you can get the discount. You can just use code 10K20 for 20% off of your entire membership of Freelance University if you want to be part of that. That is over, 16 courses now, freelance courses and Upwork courses, solving every freelance problem. It's also access to exclusive membership in Discord. We need to get into this whole 5 tips for your Upwork bio. And what I want to do is toss my bio up on the screen so that you can see it. You won't need to do exactly what I do because we'll have different approaches because we're in different spaces. But we can at least talk about some of the mistakes or some of the things that you should apply whenever you are looking to write your bio. So let's go ahead and get into that. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to do in our bio, my first tip, is to tell the client's story. And this is always the big one because there are so many freelancers who get this wrong. Whenever you write your bio, you approach it like an employee approaching a cover letter for some reason, but you're not an employee and you're not applying to a traditional 9-to-5 job, so you don't write like an employee applying to a job, but everybody does. And this will show up in your bio in the form of you starting with the word I instead of starting with something that is a story that the client wants to read. So you'll start off with something like, I am a copywriter who has a degree in finance and 5 years of experience working for a digital marketing agency. I really want to do your job because blah, 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 blah. Nobody cares about that stuff. So what you have to do, and that's your story. That's the story that you want to tell about yourself. But if you want the client to be interested in you, you have to show them that you understand people, and especially as a copywriter. If you're a copywriter, but other freelancers have to show that you understand people as well. So you have to switch your focus and put it on the client, on telling the story that they want to read. If you are looking to read Harry Potter and somebody hands you a book like, Atlas Shrugged, you're going to be disappointed because it's not the story that you want to read. They're very different types of stories. Whenever the client comes to your bio, they want to read a story that's about them, and that's about the things that they need help with, the problems that they have. So there's different ways that you can do that, but the main tip here is to, first of all, don't start your bio with the word I. You just want to switch away from that. Don't start with the word I. Start with anything else. It doesn't really matter. One way that you can approach your bio that is going to be really valuable to clients is just to call out the client and their problem, and then to offer yourself up as a solution, to connect yourself as a solution. That's a different kind of story. It's not all about me. It's not my story. It's about you, the client, your problem, and how I can help you solve that. So an example of that might be to start your bio with something like, are you an e-commerce fashion designer who struggles with branding, or who struggles to pull your brand together? If so, maybe I can help. I'm an e-commerce fashion designer, brand copywriter, and I've helped clients just like you all around the world. See what I've done there? I've called out the client, their industry, their problem, and then I linked myself to it by saying I'm that exact thing. And so that's one way you could start your bio. Another way you could start it is how I've started my bio here, is just by demonstrating my skill. And I demonstrate it in a very unique way that is different from most copywriters, and because I do that, it works for my exact target audience. So my bio won't work for anybody else but me, but it works very well for me because it shows that my clients that I know what I'm doing very well. So what I want you to take away from this is to get away from the idea of constantly talking about yourself. That isn't to say that you can't talk about yourself. You can, but you have to do it in a way that makes sense for the client. If you were to look through my bio, and this is very different from most bios, you would notice that there isn't a single line that starts with the word I or my. You can go all the way down to the bottom, not one. Every single line starts with something other than I. At a minimum, you should start your bio at the top with something other than I or my. But I do it throughout most of the bio, and you should be thinking about that as you go forward. All right, tip number 2 is going to be to break things up. You want to break your bio up into chunks, into sections, and break it up in paragraphs and sentences. We're really talking about creating a sense of white space here. So if you look through my bio, you can see that it's not a block of text. It's not just one long paragraph with no spacing in between. I write a very short sentence, and then there's a line break, and there's some space, some white space here. And then here is a paragraph. It's a pretty short paragraph. It's got 2 sentences, and then another break, and then a short sentence, and then another break. And all of these breaks create a lot of white space. And you want to have short sentences and short paragraphs, and even, usually smaller syllable words, like words with fewer syllables, so that they read a little bit faster and more simply to get the client through it. As you scroll down, you see that I've broken my bio into sections. So I have 2 sections. I think you can usually have up to 4, sometimes more, but I have a main section, which is like my introductory section up here. And then I have a split, which I split mine with my website. And then I have a second section down here that tells about some other stuff. So the first section for me is an introduction. It is a demonstration of my skill. And then the second section is some bullet points and some other information about me. But you can see the bullet points also, that creates white space here. We've got a lot of white space here, and it's just making it easy for the client to read. And if your bio isn't easy for the client to read, they're not going to stick around because they don't have time to do a lot of heavy lifting in the mind, heavy brain work. So we don't want to have a wall of text. We want to break it up into sections and make sure those sections make sense if you're breaking it into sections. The first section of mine is clearly the introduction. The second section is clearly some additional information. You could have other sections like a frequently asked questions section or a qualifying section. This is for you if, this is not for you if, that sort of thing. But just break it into sections and then break your paragraphs into smaller paragraphs and fewer sentences, and then put more space in between each paragraph. All right, number 3. Number 3 is to use relevant credibility. A lot of freelancers use credibility. Almost all freelancers use credibility in some ways. The problem is most of those freelancers use credibility that isn't relevant for the client and their problem. And a challenge that they have is that they usually don't niche down. So if you're not niched down, if you're not willing to niche down, if you're scared that you're going to lose out on work, I mean, you'd be fooling yourselves. I bet that I have more active candidacies right now than virtually all of you. I have at least 23 candidacies open right now, and I'm niched down. And my niche is it's pretty narrow. I mean, there's not that many people who can actually effectively do NLP in copywriting, so it's pretty narrow. But this isn't about niching down so much as using relevant credibility for the niche. So for my target audience, my introductory statement here is very relevant for them. That's a start, that's demonstrating your credibility in a different way. But as you scroll down my bio, I use other things. So I'm a copywriter. So I want to say that I've got 10 years of persuasive copywriting. That's a big number for them. I say I have a BA and an MA graduate in psychology. Again, that's highly relevant for copywriting positions. And then I've got other things here, NLP master practitioner, Ericksonian hypnotherapist, high-ticket copywriting coach. All of these things are super relevant credibility markers. Now, other people might say that they're a copywriter, but they have a degree, they have an MBA, or they have a degree in accounting, or they have a degree in aerospace engineering. Those are not relevant. And it's nice that you have those, but it's just not a relevant degree. You can put it off in your education section. It should not be a highlight of your bio because clients don't care about that. It does not show them that you are someone who can likely do this job for them at all. If you were to scroll down more, I talk about other things that are little credibility markers that are relevant. I work with enterprise businesses. I work with celebrity influencers. I work with multi-million-dollar marketing agencies. I'm dropping hints of my credibility. Credibility builds authority, and authority is how you show clients that you are an expert at what you do. But you have to drop the right credibility in your bio. So make sure that whatever credibility you're using is highly relevant for the skill that you offer and for the niche that you target. And if you don't target a niche, you should definitely consider doing that because it can change your results completely. Let's talk about bullet points. That's number 4, bullet points. I like bullet points for a number of reasons. First of all, because they create space. Second of all, because they extend your bio. They make it look longer than it really is. You don't even have to they don't have to be extensive bullet points. You can just drop quick pieces in here. So you can see here I've just got some short things. I just use my credibility. You could also use bullet points to add in things like other industries that you target or that you can help. So when you niche down, people worry that they're going to miss out on other nearby industries. But if I am a fashion design copywriter, I can put in bullets that I also do SaaS copywriting. I also do fintech copywriting. I also do brand copywriting. I also do direct response copywriting. I can put all of those things down here. I can say other industries I target, drop some bullets, and say that I do those things. I can also add bullets and say, here are some other things that I can help you with. Email marketing, web design, social media marketing, phone calls, whatever those things are. You can put those in bullet points. There's a lot of stuff that you can put in bullets if you want to capture more of the world out there. If you want clients to come in here and see that you have other skills, that would be good for bullet points, and it just gives them a little piece of additional information. A note on bullet points, you can see here that I'm using emojis. You can use emojis, and emojis are totally okay. I'll drop a link in the description to where you can get some emojis. You can also use alt codes, arrows or bullets or anything like that you want to use are totally fine here. You can use dashes. I don't think dashes are as pretty, but to each his own. I use these red diamonds because they support my brand, and my brand colors are red. You can see that from my picture, and my background behind me is a red color, and my website also uses red colors, so these just kind of fit. And then I also use some emojis down here in my signature just because that fits my whole branding and stuff too. That's a whole topic for a different day. Maybe we'll get into that one soon. The point is, use bullets. They will help you break up your bio. They will help it look longer. They will help give clients who just want to skim the information that they need quickly, and that is going to help them to want to work with you. Number 5, this is a big one. You need to have a clear call to action at the end of your bio. You can have multiple calls to action in your bio, but you need to have at least one clear call to action, and that's going to come at the end. It's going to come in your closing sentence. So here's my closing sentence, and I say, If I'm the one for you, then message me about your project. Talk soon. So I actually have 2 calls to action there. The first one is to message me. The second one is to talk soon. And I have a PS statement down below. And in that PS statement, I say if that's what you need, message me. Again, that's a call to action. If you don't know what a call to action is, it just means that you are calling the client to action. You are telling them what action to take next. What action do you need them to take? For most of you, it is to message you. That's where your relationship begins. That's where communication starts. You need them to message you or to chat with you or to reach out to you or to reply to you. And you need to figure out what fits best for your bio. And then once you fit that in, once you figure out what fits best, add it in. And once you have that call to action, that is going to help move clients forward. It is going to help compel them and motivate them to take that very next step, because now they know what that next step is, so they know how to take it, and it's very clear. So those are my 5 Upwork bio tips for beginners. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how I leverage my website to attract clients at a higher rate. And if that is something you're interested in, you'll definitely want to subscribe to the channel and make sure that you click the notification bell so you never miss a video. You can also use that 10K20 code. Remember, if you go down in the link, click the link over to Freelance University, you can use the 10K20 code to get 20% off through, I think, Sunday. And we're just going to have that up for a couple of days. To celebrate our 10K milestone, I look forward to reaching the 20K milestone and beyond with you. And remember to join us in the Discord chat. We've got over almost 600 members in there. It's getting pretty big at this point. We're going to add some new features in there soon, and it's going to be a lot of fun helping freelancers in there every single day. So if you need help as a freelancer, make sure that you're in our Discord chat. You would be a fool not to, because I'm in there every single day helping people one-on-one and giving solutions, helping them work through problems, and helping people get responses and make money. That's what this is all about. That is what our community is, and I hope that that is what you were here for. Drop me a like if you liked anything in this video, and if you have any questions, put them down in a comment below. I'm Lex DeVille. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.